Hello everyone, welcome to a new video, a new planty video. It is me, Desiree, and today I just wanted to share some plants that are thriving and some plants that are not thriving, and one of them I think is probably dying, but I refuse to let go of him. So most of the plants don't seem to really notice that it's winter. They're kind of just growing and growing, whatever. Some of the plants here that I have are growing for the first time ever. Like I have a Hoya over there that's never ever grown for me, and it put out like 12 leaves in just the last month. It's crazy. So I don't know, the plants don't seem to care what season it is. They're gonna do what they want with their lives. So I have 3 plants I'm gonna share with you that are thriving and 3 that are not doing very well, and we'll just kind of go back and forth. So let's start with the plant that it's not doing well. Well, okay, it's not doing bad. It's just, I think it's not doing well because of me. It's user error. I'm gonna go with that. So this is a heart fern, and look at this cute little planter from Halloween. I'm not putting it away. It's just too cute. So it's a really cute plant. It has these heart-shaped leaves, and they grow on this stem that feels like wire. Like I literally kept thinking that this was a fake plant because I was like, wait, can I bend that? Is that actually wire? It's just really, really cool how this plant grows. So I don't know a lot about ferns. This is only my second fern I've ever had. The first one is no longer with us. I didn't know it was a fern. I didn't know the kind of care it needed. I didn't know it liked to be wet all the time, and it quickly crusted up and died. And that's kind of what's happening with this one because I keep forgetting to water it. I was gonna cut these leaves off this morning, but I thought I would just keep them on to show you what I've done to this poor thing. So this leaf has crusty, this one here crusty, there's one here that's, you can hear it, crusty. This one, but it also put out a new leaf, so I think it's doing okay. I am gonna cut all of these leaves off, but I didn't want to because look, it's like the tallest one and it was the coolest one, and then that's the one I gotta cut off, but it's my fault, it's my fault. So this one, it's not doing well. It's just not, he could be better. He could be better if I water it more consistently, but this plant dries out so quickly, like quicker than the peace lilies do, so I keep forgetting to come and check on it as often, but I just watered it this morning, so he'll be okay. A plant right here, the one that's in the way, that is just thriving and thriving and thriving, is one of my favorite plants that I have, and I will explain why. This is a Philodendron Prince of Orange. So it is absolutely gorgeous. This, I love this plant not only because of how it looks. The new leaves grow in, and they grow like this, kind of orange. They're kind of like a, I mean, there's not a new one here, so they're not looking as orange, but you can get the gist. And then of course, as the leaf matures, it turns green. I love this plant. It's growing and growing. Like you can see, it just put out those 2. This was another one. This one just unfurled, and it's just, I just love him so much. So the reason I love this plant so much is because I bought it at a local nursery. It was 75% off, and it's a plant I had always wanted. Well, I didn't always want it, but they had it there like a month before, and they were like $35, and I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna die if I don't buy that. I picked out the best one. I stayed there for so long picking out the most perfect one. I carried it around and I put it back. Like I couldn't bring myself to pay that much for a plant, and I thought about it all the time, and I always regretted not getting it. But I have a little tiny one you might have seen in another video, and I'm like, I always tell that plant, I'm like, one day you're gonna get big and beautiful. And then one day at the end of the summer, they had plants 75% off, like the ones that wouldn't sell. And this plant was jacked up. I didn't think to take pictures of it then because I wasn't doing plant videos at the time. But now if I ever come across something like that again, I will. This poor thing, so it's 2 separate plants in this pot, but this poor thing wasn't even in the soil. It was like just a chunk of soil, a root ball, and it was kind of like sat on top. It was flopped over to the side. And I was like, oh, it was like $6, I think. And I was like, oh my god, I have to have it. I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna heal it. And when I got it home, I took it out of the pot and I was like trying to fix it, and it was absolutely infested with millipedes or centipedes. I don't remember which one they were, because a lot of the leaves had little bites taken out of them, and I was like, there is something eating this plant. So when I took it out, I freaked out because I didn't even know that that was a possibility, like as a pest. Here's some more leaves here that are, you know, eaten. I'm not cutting those off. They give the plant character, and it shows him where he came from. I separated the 2 plants, put them in 2 separate tiny pots. It was a really small plant. I kept it outside the whole summer, and then it just started growing and growing. So it got healthy enough and big enough. I put them both in the same pot, and now it's like outgrowing this pot. I love this for so many reasons. I can't believe I healed this plant and I helped him become healthy, and I love him. One of my absolute favorites. This is one that if something ever happened to it, I would feel my heart would hurt. Where's my other plant that is not thriving? Okay, here's this one here. If my grandma's watching this, she is going to laugh. So this is my 𝐓𝐇𝐑𝐈𝐕𝐈𝍍𝐆. We both bought one of these at the same time, and hers is this big, beautiful, thriving thing. The leaves are so huge. None of the leaves are crusty or like soft or anything like that. But mine, I don't know what happened. It only has 3 leaves now. It used to be multiple plants too. It did just put out this leaf though, so I'm thinking he's doing better. I don't really know, because the new leaf even has a little crusty tip on it. I don't know what it is with this plant. I don't know if I'm not watering it enough or I'm watering it too much. Everything I've looked up, you know, when you're looking up care for plants, everything's contradictory. Like now in the winter, everyone says to move your plants away from the windows because the windows are too cold. And then everyone says move them up to the windows so they need all the light. So you kind of just do whatever you want with your plants. It's fine. But this one, I don't know. I don't know what happened. I don't know what he's doing, I don't know. He just sits on the shelf and I just water him when he's dry, and then that's kind of it. So yeah, this plant, every time I see it, I'm like, that poor thing. I have no idea how to take care of a 𝐓𝐇𝐑𝐈𝐕𝐈𝍍𝐆, but I have heard they're difficult just in general. But this poor thing, you know, he's doing his best. He's doing his best with what I'm giving him, I guess. A plant that is thriving, let's talk about this one. This is a Fiddle Leaf Fig. It's a little guy. The tag said Little Fiddle, and I think that's the cutest name I've ever heard in my life, so I always call it Little Fiddle. I actually never really had particularly wanted one of these. My boyfriend actually bought it for me just as a gift, and I immediately became obsessed with it because everything that I've heard about Fiddle Leaf Fig is that they are very particular. The leaves will just fall off for no reason. It's very particular about when you water it and when you don't water it, the lighting and all that kind of stuff. But so far in my experience, I've had this plant for 3 months and it is doing nothing but growing and growing and growing. It grows all the time and it's always putting out multiple leaves at once. So like these 3 leaves right here are brand new. It's also working on one there in the middle. There's this little one, there's this one, these 2 right here, this one. It's always putting out at least between 6 and 8 leaves at once, and it's just a great plant. I love it so, so much. The leaves do grow in like this with this red spotting all over it, but it does go away just as the leaf grows and matures, and I love it a lot. I've had this for 3 months. I've only watered it 3 times. I don't know. I was very nervous about the watering for this plant. I didn't want to overwater it. I was afraid to underwater it. But so far, I've been writing down every time I water it. And so far, in between each watering, it's almost exactly a month. So I don't know if that's good or not, but the plant seems to be doing just fine. I also have this underneath a skylight on my kitchen table, on my kitchen counter anyway. Right underneath the skylight, gets light all day long. And another thing I've read about Fiddle Leaf Figs is that once you find a spot that they like, don't move them, just leave them there. So I plan to leave this there until it touches the sky. But I love it so, so much. It's definitely one of my favorites, and it's a plant that like, a couple leaves had fallen off the other day and I was like, it's happening! Oh my god! But it's doing really well, growing like crazy. It doesn't seem to know that it's winter. It's weird. All right, the last plant that's not doing well, I don't have the heart to get rid of this. I just love it so much. You're gonna laugh. Oh my god, look at it. So this, oh my gosh, this looks even more ridiculous on camera. This is a sensitive plant. If you don't know what that is, it's one of these, I don't know if it's gonna work. I'll kind of show you. When you touch the leaves, well, normally when you touch the leaves, they close up. I think because of just the condition that it's in, it probably doesn't have any energy to do that. I can't bring myself to get rid of this. It used to be a big, big full plant. Oh look, there's a lint on it. It used to be a big full plant. Got this at the local nursery over the summer and I love it so much. It's a really cool plant to have. And then at night, all the leaves close up. Like I actually thought it was dying, but I noticed it happening every night and they all just close up and then they just sleep like that, and in the morning you see them all opening up. It's a really, really cute plant. If you walk by it too quickly, all the leaves will close because it doesn't like to get touched or moved at all. Like me now just moving it, like all these ones have closed up. I don't know why those ones won't. Probably because they're dying. I don't know. But from what I have read about this plant, even in the best of conditions, even in the wild where it grows, it usually will only live for about 2 years. So I wasn't expecting to have like a lifelong relationship with this plant or anything. But it's still growing. Like the other day I was gonna get rid of it, but then I saw all these little buds on the bottom, and now like all these, I know you can't really see, but all these little leaves on the inside are new and they're still growing, like these ones here too. So I can't bring myself to get rid of it. It sits on the kitchen counter too, just sitting there being all sticky, and I just love it. I love him, although he's not doing well. He's on his way out, but you know what? He's hanging in there, and I'm gonna hang on to him until he tells me he's ready to go. But I love him so much. Really cool plant when they're big and full and, you know, fun. And then the last plant that's thriving, this is also a plant that I used to hate. I don't know why I hated this plant so much. I just didn't like the variegation. I didn't like the pot I put it in. Every day I would see it and I would just go like, you. And now I look at it and I'm like, I love you. He's so beautiful. This is my Philodendron Brazil. So this plant never did anything. So this is another one that doesn't realize it's winter. It's like on an opposite schedule. It's like during the summer it's like whatever, and then during the winter he's like, I love cold weather. So this plant is very, very beautiful. It's green on green variegation, which is something I didn't love, but I bought the plant anyway. I bought 2 of them. And I don't know why, just having it in this pot, I didn't enjoy the way it looked either with the colors. I don't know why. I had it sitting on a black shelf, which I also didn't like. I don't know, I just didn't like the way this plant looked, where it was anything. And every day I looked at it and I was like, oh, I don't want that anymore. And then one day I put it in the bathroom. It's sitting on the counter there, and it does get decent light all day if the bathroom door is left open, because there's a skylight right outside of the door that brightens up that whole area. So it does get really nice light all day long. And out of nowhere, it started growing like crazy. So this whole like little section here, this whole little section here, on the back, there's a, where's that vine I just saw? This whole vine right here, and then it started just like laying down over the pot on 2 separate sides, and I love the way that it looks. Every single day when I go into the bathroom, I see this plant and I'm just like, dang, I love this plant. I just love everything about it. I love the way it looks. I love the way it's starting to hang over the pot now. It suddenly is thriving. I'm guessing it just really, really likes it in the bathroom. It might just be getting like the light that it wanted. Maybe the humidity in there might be helping it out. But either way, I love that plant now, and I'm so glad it's growing because it's just, I just love it a lot. So yeah, that is it. 3 plants that are thriving, 3 plants not so much. Let me know how your plants are doing this winter. I would love to know. Do you have any of these plants? What is your care tips, especially with this heart fern? Because I know I'm not doing it right. But yeah, that is it. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe so you don't miss the next one. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you later in another video. Goodbye.